bunnies, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a very fun video where I'm going to help you start your very own YouTube channel. I started my first YouTube channel back when I was like 6 or 7 years old, so I've been on the platform for a very long time, but I feel like I've only taken it seriously for maybe the past like 2 years. Like if you go back on my channel, you can see that I have content that's like a year and a half old at this point, so I think I'm qualified to give a little bit of advice. I have broken this video down into chapters, which will be in the description below in case you want to skip around or you want to see certain things, but let's get started. My first tip is to make content that is like the content that you personally like to watch, because you are going to be more like understanding of that space and you're going to really understand the things that make a genre like good, and you're really gonna understand what makes that specific kind of content like enjoyable to watch because you enjoy to watch it. If you can't or don't want to make content like the stuff you usually watch, like you want to make gaming content but like you don't have a gaming PC, then you can always just do something that you're good at. Like if you're really talented at a certain kind of art, or you just are really good at baking or something, you could make a channel that's around something that you're passionate about and you're also good at. Just remember to take inspiration from other people because other people have brilliant ideas. Just make sure that you make them your own and make it so that you stand out, because the last thing you'd want to be is just another copy of somebody else. Because if somebody else is making what you're making, why wouldn't they just go watch the larger creator that's making what you're making? Moving on to actual video creation, I think that the most important thing to realize is that honestly most smartphones are good enough for video content these days. Like I'm filming on an iPhone 11 right now, and like sometimes YouTube compresses my video and stuff, but for the most part I get 1080p, the audio quality is okay, like it works, and it's not worth going out to buy a specific camera for it. And it's honestly really difficult to use like professional cameras and import footage and edit like off of your phone. Like it's just way easier to keep it all in one place. I suggest using CapCut if you're gonna edit on your phone, and honestly I don't think it's that bad of an experience. I don't know if it's just because that's what I'm used to, but I get all the edits that I really want to get done in CapCut for free. And it's also really great for like TikTok integration and editing shorts and stuff. On top of that, I would say that if you have like an iPad or like a MacBook or a computer or something, that it'd be nice to export your footage from your phone and use something like iMovie or Final Cut Pro if you had the money already. Like I wouldn't say go buy it, I would just say maybe use it if you already use it. One thing that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about is music in YouTube videos, because everyone knows about like copyright and the content ID system on YouTube and how like ridiculous it is. But one thing that I suggest is to make sure you're always citing your music in your description, even if it's copyright free, because it's just important to credit creators and artists and stuff. But also, like, even though there's a lot of emphasis on copyright free music, there are also other kinds of like copyrighted licenses that you can also take advantage of. Like things like the Creative Commons license, you just cite the source and you don't like make money off of what you're making, and you're perfectly fine as long as you credit the source. It's also nice to look into which creators and artists don't even give out like copyright claims and strikes, just because some people aren't under big labels. Like music that I started using recently is soundtracks from certain video games that the creators are known to be very open about using music. It's just important to do your research when you're using something that isn't like copyright free or in the Creative Commons, because then you get into like you're doing copyright infringement. It's just sometimes there's certain levels that you can kind of get away with. And I know certain artists that are in Creative Commons, they have like systems that look out for that citation in the description, and so if they have a specific way they want you to cite it in their description of wherever you're getting the music from, do it in that way. Make sure you have a link to the music and like have the producer or creator listed there and the title of the song and everything, so that anybody who needs access to it can. A method I actually realized recently that you can use to double check this sort of content ID system is to upload a private video with the audio and the credits in like the description, and then if it will get automatically copyright claimed, then you're not supposed to use it. Like don't use it. But if you don't get a copyright claim when it's private, you probably won't get a copyright claim when it's not. So doing maybe on a second channel if you want to be extra safe, but just uploading the soundtracks separate without the video can help make sure that you're not like infringing on copyright or going to get copyright strikes. I also want to talk about thumbnails because those are a thing that I think a lot of people don't utilize enough when they're just getting started. For the longest time, I didn't realize that on YouTube Studio you can do custom thumbnails, and so I just click one of the 3 like thumbnails, and I think now on the YouTube app you can do custom thumbnails without using YouTube Studio. But I use PixArt on my phone to do my thumbnails because I just do collages with font in the center, and I really like the font. Sniglet is the name of the font, and I just do like a border around it, and I do all my thumbnails very similarly. But PixArt works really, really well for me, and I imagine it works even better if you're like on an iPad or you have a stylus for your phone, because then you can like doodle on it and make it more personalized. You could also use Canva to make thumbnails. I don't use it to make thumbnails, but I have used it to make like my intro and my outro for my YouTube channel and banners and other aspects of my channel, just because it works really well. And they already have like the formats for things like YouTube banners, so you don't have to worry about the file not being the right size or the right dimensions. My last tip is to really utilize the YouTube Studio app. For the longest time, I didn't use it, and I was missing out on so much analytics and customization and being able to use tags and end cards and iCards and stuff that just gives you way more customizability when you are uploading your videos and allows you to give more options to your viewers. The web version does have more like options and resources for you to use, but the version on mobile still works perfectly fine for me. There's certain things I have to use the desktop version for, but even if you don't have a computer, you can always go to like a local library or like borrow somebody like in your family's like laptop or something so that you can access those more like intricate sort of settings. Moving on, I want to talk about descriptions of your videos because I think they're really important and you can hold a lot of information there. Even if it doesn't help you in the algorithm, which people say it does, at the very least you can share more information with your audience and anybody who wants to look at it. I use a basic template that I like created like years ago, and I just keep using the same format for every single one. And I think it's important to do a template like that because it makes making your descriptions way less just boring. It's still a little tedious, but at least this way, like you're only filling out certain parts of it differently, especially if you use the same music over and over again. You just like add a new little blurb about what happens in the video, change your timestamps and like the products featured in your video and other information that people might be asking about in the comments. But at least then you've got a format you always follow and it makes it a lot easier. You can even copy the format that I use for my videos, or you could use a format somebody else uses, because most like YouTubers do follow a specific like template for their own channel. And also do add timestamps because it does really help like when people are skimming through your videos. If there's certain information that they don't want to look at, it's better for them to just skip it and have an easy way to skip it than for them to just click off and stop watching. Because you can really see like the audience retention to drop immediately when they were there for a specific part of the video and they just can't find it, and it's not worth like looking around for, when you can just spend a couple extra minutes or even write down while you're editing timestamps that are important for the video, and you just write them down in the description and YouTube automatically like adds it to the bottom so that it like puts it in chapters, so you don't even have to worry about it. One feature that I think is really nice is the community tab. Even though a lot of your audience probably will never see it, especially if you're a small creator, it's nice to be able to reach out to the people that watch you and like be able to post things about like how you're premiering new videos or like ideas for thumbnails. So it's nice to do polls and like A/B testing and all kinds of stuff with the community tab that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. It's also important to schedule and premiere your videos. From what I've heard, premiering, it's kind of nice because you get that live chat, and if you have enough people that come in, you get to see live reactions that stay even after the video is done premiering. You get to look at the live chat separate from the comment section. And scheduling posts just makes it way easier because you can even schedule shorts and community posts, I'm pretty sure, but you can schedule anything, and then you can like set up like a month's worth of content all in one go. which is especially nice if you want to get more stuff off of your storage. Like that's what I'm going to be doing mostly for the summer, is I want to film a lot of stuff together so that I can just add it to the schedule and then only have the next video set up to premiere, so there's not like an entire wall of premiering content, but have a bunch of like private or like scheduled videos set up for the month so that they're like already in like HD video. They look way better if you set them for scheduling because they get to process beforehand. So really take advantage of the scheduling feature because it is something that you can do natively on the YouTube app. It's really, really easy and it makes your life easier too. A feature that I also think is good for interactions is the pinning feature. If you see somebody's comment down below that like maybe they give a really good detailed perspective on a review, I've pinned comments like that before, but you pin a good comment to the top of the list. You can pin your own comments too in case like you want to make edits or like let your audience know something before they start commenting about a mistake or something. But you can pin really good comments and really help elevate the people in your audience that are engaging and like really motivate people to keep doing that. Honestly, it's a feature that I forget about a lot of the time, but I think it can be really useful, especially for sharing more information or giving better perspectives on an issue. I think a lot of people, when they're smaller, they don't feel like branding is important. I just like it personally. I like the idea of having like a cohesive look across all of my stuff, but just know that you have an audience. And like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, have a very niche audience. I think having it too niche can be a problem because it just makes your audience so small. But if everything that you're talking about is kind of vaguely related or like similar types of people like this kind of content, I think it can work really well. Like even I do like vlog stuff and like lifestyle stuff, but I also do stuff related to like makeup and art and everything that I'm just interested in, because I imagine like other like teenagers my age are kind of interested in the same things. I'll do like haul videos, and like honestly a lot of my videos do basically the same. I've had a couple that do way better, but overall like my audience is just more interested in like the vibe and my branding overall than the specific kinds of content that I talk about. I think a big part of making a cohesive brand is making sure your thumbnails, your banners, your profile picture, like everything you're doing all kind of matches and like fits a color scheme. Like picking a color is a big thing, where my like intro and outro and my banner are all the same color of blue. And I think that helps make things more cohesive, and I use a lot of pastel colors, and I use the same font in my thumbnails, and like I use like all my thumbnails have a similar vibe. They don't all look the same, but they have a similar energy that makes them more recognizable. And then also the very pastel light colors tend to stand out against a lot of what is popular in the YouTube like page these days, but also kind of mixes in well with content similar to mine. So when somebody is watching another video by a different creator, and they see my video recommended and it gives a similar vibe to the content that they're currently watching, they're probably gonna be more likely to click it. So making sure you kind of fit in with your niche but also do your own thing is important for standing out, but also making sure that when other people see your content being recommended alongside other content, that they're going to click it. And that is all of the tips that I have for you guys today. I hope anybody who's starting a YouTube channel, whether it's this summer or sometime in the next year or years from now, that you have good luck and that you keep going, because it's a lot of fun, even though, you know, you don't see a lot of rewards to it. But I think it's just fun to be creative in a very different way than we traditionally expect it to be. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.